One of Southern California's most popular burger chains is moving its company headquarters out of the Golden State.
125.5 million just moved to Tennessee. Not a tech startup, not a manufacturing plant. InNOutBurger, California's 77-year-old icon worth $2.1 billion, is quietly building its future 1,800 miles from home. The owner calls it expansion. The numbers tell a different story. 287 corporate jobs averaging $90,000 each, a 100,000 square foot headquarters, an address that reads 1948 Double Drive. And California? It just lost 17% of its refining capacity in 12 months. March 24th, 2024 marked InNOut's first permanent closure in company history. The Oakland location shut down after police logged 1,835 criminal incidents in 5 years, including 9 robberies and gunfire that pierced the building itself. According to Oakland Police Department records, that single address generated more calls than any other commercial location in the city. But the closure was just the opening act. 4 months later, CEO Lindsay Snyder announced she's relocating her family to Tennessee, citing difficulties raising a family and doing business in California. Then came the refinery bombshell. Phillips 66 and Valero are shutting down facilities that processed 284,000 barrels daily, pushing California gas prices toward $5 per gallon, according to petroleum analysts. The pattern emerging isn't about one burger chain. It's about an economic foundation cracking under pressure nobody wants to acknowledge. On July 22, 2025, Lindsay Snyder posted a direct statement. "We're not moving InNOutBurger's corporate headquarters." California Governor Gavin Newsom echoed the message, insisting the company was simply growing eastward with a second headquarters. Official talking points painted it as expansion, not exodus. But financial records reveal a more complex reality. According to Tennessee Economic Development announcements from January 2023, InNOut committed $125.5 million to establish an office in Franklin, Tennessee, the company's largest single-site investment outside California. The facility spans 100,000 square feet and creates 287 corporate positions with an average salary of $90,000. Property records from the Nashville Post confirm InNOut paid $36.1 million for the land alone in July 2023. The state sweetened the deal with $2.75 million in job creation grants, while Franklin and Williamson County added $1.89 million in combined property tax abatements. Meanwhile, the Irvine, California office housing 500 employees is scheduled to close by the decade's end. The company hasn't announced California job numbers, relocation packages, or what happens to half a millennium of institutional knowledge when those doors shut. When questioned about the timeline, InNOut representatives cited operational efficiency and strategic positioning, corporate speak that says everything and nothing. The address choice speaks volumes. 1948 Double Drive. That's the year Harry and Esther Snyder opened their first burger stand in Baldwin Park, California. Naming your Tennessee headquarters after California's founding year isn't expansion strategy. It's rebranding where home is. According to the Public Policy Institute of California, only 3% of businesses relocate headquarters across state lines. When they do, 90% cite cost, regulation, and taxation as primary factors. InNOut fits the profile perfectly. Here's what makes this different. InNOut has never franchised a single location, never gone public, and never compromised on quality. For 77 years, loyalty to California was part of the brand identity. When a company that turned down billions in franchise opportunities starts building foundations elsewhere, it's not exploring new markets. It's preparing an exit strategy. InNOut generates $2.4 billion in annual revenue according to Restaurant Business Magazine's 2025 Top 500 report. More impressive? Each location averages $5.8 million in sales, the highest per-store revenue of any burger chain in America. Chick-fil-A's average sits at $4.5 million. McDonald's averages $3.7 million. InNOut's business model shouldn't be leaving anywhere. Yet the economics of California no longer support even the most profitable operations. Start with energy costs. According to ELA data from December 2025, California's average gas price sits at $4.34 per gallon, 1.40 above the national average of $2.94. State taxes alone add 63 cents per gallon, the highest in the nation. But here's where it accelerates into crisis. Phillips 66 shut down its 139,000 barrel per day Los Angeles refinery in September 2025. Valero announced its 145,000 barrel per day Benicia facility closes April 2026. Combined, that's 284,000 barrels daily, 17.5% of California's total refining capacity vanishing in 7 months. UC Davis energy economists project these closures will add another 1.21 per gallon by summer 2026, pushing average prices toward $5.55. Some analysts predict 8.43 by year-end as supply chains strain. For a company operating 287 California locations with daily deliveries from regional distribution centers, fuel costs directly impact margins. InNOut's business model demands fresh beef delivered daily, fresh produce multiple times weekly. When diesel prices mirror gasoline increases, every delivery truck becomes more expensive. Tennessee offers something California can't: no state income tax. According to the Tax Foundation's 2025 State Business Tax Climate Index, Tennessee ranks 16th nationally, while California ranks 48th. The Dallas-Fort Worth patty production facility, InNOut, opened in 2011, enabled Texas expansion. The Franklin office enables southeastern growth. Both locations operate in states with combined state-local tax burdens below 9%. California's effective rate exceeds 13% for high earners. For Lindsay Snyder personally, the calculation is stark. Forbes estimates her net worth between $7.3 and $8.7 billion, making her California's youngest female billionaire. California taxes capital gains as ordinary income at up to 13.3%. Tennessee has zero capital gains tax. On paper, relocating her personal residence saves hundreds of millions in lifetime tax liability. The business benefits follow naturally. The Oakland closure wasn't about sales. According to InNOut COO Denny Warrick's statement in January 2024, the location was financially successful right up until the locks changed. What failed wasn't the business model. It was the social contract that businesses can operate safely. Oakland Police Department data obtained through public records requests reveals the full scope. 1,335 incidents logged between 2019 and 2024 at the single Oakport Street address. That breaks down to 1,174 vehicle break-ins, 9 armed robberies, 4 domestic violence incidents, and 2 commercial burglaries. Security personnel reported up to 5 vehicle break-ins per shift. The BBC reported in January 2024 that violent crime in Oakland increased 18% from 2019 to 2022, with robberies up 37% and burglaries up 24%. Then came the breaking point: multiple shootings in the vicinity, including gunfire that penetrated the restaurant building itself. When InNOut consulted with Oakland PD about response times, the reality became clear. According to Warrick's public statements, police response for property crimes averaged 45 minutes to never. For a company whose employee handbook lists safety as priority 1, above profit, above customer service, the calculation was simple. What's remarkable isn't that InNOut closed. It's that they were first. Within 6 months of the January 2024 closure announcement, Denny's, 2 Starbucks locations, Subway and Black Bear Diner all shuttered operations in the same corridor. Each cited identical concerns: employee safety, customer safety, insurance costs, and inadequate law enforcement response. For InNOut specifically, this was unprecedented. The company had operated 415 locations across 7 states without ever permanently closing one. Not during recessions, not during the 2008 financial crisis, not during COVID-19 when other chains shuttered hundreds of stores. The Oakland location generated approximately $5.8 million annually based on company averages. That's $16,000 every single day walking away from something. The symbolic weight matters when a company known for never wavering, never cutting corners, and never abandoning communities decides a profitable location isn't worth the human cost. It sends a message throughout the business community. If InNOut can't make it work in Oakland, who can? The refinery closures represent something larger than energy policy. They're the physical manifestation of regulatory pressure meeting economic reality. Phillips 66 CEO Mark Lashier called California the most stringent and difficult regulatory environment in North America during an October 2024 earnings call. Valero cited costs and uncertainty of ongoing regulatory requirements in its closure filing. Here are the numbers. Phillips 66 paid an $82 million fine for air quality violations in 2024, the largest environmental penalty in California history, according to the California Air Resources Board. The company chose to shut down rather than invest an estimated $1 billion in emissions equipment upgrades required under California's evolving clean air standards. Valero faced similar calculations. When operating margins run 2 to 4% in good years, billion-dollar compliance costs don't pencil. The CNN business analysis from December 2025 projects California could face sustained $5 gasoline prices throughout 2026 as remaining refineries can't meet demand. The state consumes roughly 900,000 barrels of gasoline daily, but will only produce 1.5 million barrels daily of all refined products after the closures. That math doesn't work. California will need to import finished gasoline from Nevada, Texas, and potentially Asia, adding transportation costs that consumers and businesses will absorb. For businesses like InNOut, higher fuel costs cascade through operations, delivery trucks, employee commutes, customer traffic patterns. Everything costs more when gas exceeds $5 per gallon. But the bigger issue is what the closures signal. California has chosen regulatory purity over industrial capacity. That's a policy choice with consequences. The exodus isn't limited to energy. According to CRE Daily's May 2025 report, headquarters relocations jumped to 96 announcements in 2024, up from just 18 in 2023, making it the second highest year for moves in the past decade. Chevron announced in August 2024 it was moving its headquarters from San Ramon to Houston, after 145 years in California, bringing 600 jobs. CEO Mike Wirth cited Houston's unmatched energy infrastructure and talent pool. SpaceX shifted rocket production to Texas. Tesla moved executive functions. Oracle relocated to Austin. The pattern is clear. Companies maintain California operations for market access but move decision-making and investment elsewhere. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, California saw net immigration exceeding 200,000 people between 2024 and 2025, the highest outflow in the nation. The Real Deal's December 31, 2025 analysis projects California faces a $50 to $70 billion budget deficit in 2025-2026, a dramatic reversal from the $97 billion surplus recorded in 2021-2022. That's a $120+ billion swing in 4 years. The causes are interconnected. Population decline reduces tax revenue, business relocations remove corporate taxes. High earner exodus eliminates the top 1% who pay 40% of income taxes. For InNOut, the Tennessee build-out continues. The Franklin headquarters breaks ground in 2024. with completion scheduled for early 2026, according to Williamson County building permits. The company opened its first Tennessee restaurants in Antioch and Lebanon in December 2025, with Murfreesboro following immediately. Franklin's flagship location, attached to the new headquarters, opens in 2026. Plans for 35 additional southeastern locations over 5 years are confirmed. The company's Dallas distribution center, operational since 2011, now services operations from Arizona to Tennessee. The infrastructure exists to support growth without California dependence. New Mexico locations are confirmed for 2027. Kentucky and Georgia are under evaluation. For a company that spent 62 years in California and Nevada alone before expanding to Arizona in 2000, the current pace represents radical acceleration. Critically, InNOut maintains they're not leaving California. The 287 Golden State locations remain. New stores are opening in Carson, Anaheim, and Modesto, but investment dollars tell a different story. According to building permit data compiled by the Public Policy Institute of California, InNOut's California capital expenditures dropped 34% from 2023 to 2025, while Tennessee and Texas investments increased 400%. The brand loyalty remains. California locations still generate $5.8 million average revenue. But when the owner moves her family to Tennessee, when corporate decision makers relocate, when the newest and largest facilities rise in Franklin instead of Irvine, the message is clear. California represents the past. Tennessee represents the future. And InNOut, despite all assurances otherwise, is hedging its bets on where America's economic gravity is shifting. Here's what we know. InNOut committed $125.5 million to Tennessee while planning to close its 500-employee Irvine office. California lost 284,000 barrels of daily refining capacity in 7 months, pushing gas toward $5 per gallon or higher. The Bureau of Labor Statistics confirms 200,000 plus net population loss in 1 year. Headquarters relocations jumped 433% from 2023 to 2024, according to commercial real estate data. And iconic California brands, Chevron after 145 years, InNOut after 77 years, are building futures elsewhere. The official position remains: this is expansion, not exodus. Companies aren't leaving, they're growing. California's economy is resilient, diversified, strong. But expansion doesn't require closing existing offices. Growth doesn't mean relocating CEOs and their families. Strength doesn't look like 17% of energy infrastructure vanishing in months. By every quantifiable metric, population, tax revenue, refining capacity, headquarters locations, cost of living, California is contracting while states like Tennessee, Texas, and Florida are absorbing what leaves. InNOut represents the most California brand imaginable. When they start building monuments to 1948 in Tennessee, the symbolism is unmistakable. The question isn't whether California's economy is unraveling. The question is how long before everyone stops pretending otherwise.